Hello and good evening students and welcome to today's daily quiz presented to you by BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Before we start with the daily quiz, here is a quick reminder that now you can get up to 60% discount on our live online as well as on our offline classroom programs. We have a limited number of seats available and this offer is valid only until 30th May. So click on the link in the pinned comment and register now to get a call back from our counselors. Now here is our first question. Which of the following statements are true? 5G technology has lower latency and bandwidth compared to the 4G technology. India has seen the fastest rollout of 5G network in the world. We have taken this question because the 5G site has been inaugurated even at Gangotri now. So right now India has this technology rolled out all across its 28 states, 8 union territories and in 700 districts at 2 lakh sites. So this has made India the fastest country to achieve this 5G rollout. So what is latency? Latency is the lag of relay of information from one point to another. Now the 5G technology has a lower lag. So that is why the speed that this technology can achieve, it is much higher compared to the 4G technology. It is said that 5G technology, if used in its full might, it might be 100 times faster than the 4G technology. This high speed and low latency, it is a result of the high bandwidths that the 5G technology uses compared to the 4G technology. So if we come back to the question, this is incorrect because though 5G technology has lower latency, it has higher bandwidth compared to the 4G technology. This however is correct and your correct answer is B. Next question is, which of the following statements are true? Article 371C provides for some special provisions for the state of Manipur. These provisions revolve around the development of the hill areas of the state. Manipur hills belong to the lesser Himalayas. Now Article 371, it provides for certain special provisions for various states of the country. From Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Nagaland, Maharashtra, Karnataka and so on. The 371C article, it is specifically for the hill areas, the hill area development in the state of Manipur. Now recently, Manipur tribal body has called for separation of the hill areas in the state from the rest of the region. Now the Manipur hills that exist in the state, they are a part of the Purvanchals. Purv is a name for east direction in Hindi. So Purvanchals are the eastern mountains of India. They are not a part of lesser Himalayas, another name for which is the Himachals. So if we come back to this question, this is correct, however this is incorrect. So your correct answer is this one. Next question is, how many of the following statements are true? The Central Board of Film Certification is a statutory body under the Ministry of Culture. A film can be publicly broadcasted only after the certification from CBFC. It provides film certification in 4 categories. We have taken this question because recently one of the online streaming platforms, they have gone against the practice and they have streamed a censored version of one of the films that was flagged by the CBFC. Now CBFC, yes, it is a statutory body, but please note that it comes under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting and not the Ministry of Culture. The act which gave it the statutory authority is the Cinematograph Act of 1952. Now any film that has to be publicly exhibited, there can be private exhibitions of the films without any certification, but public exhibition of the films, it cannot be undertaken without the certification from this body. So this body, it gives 4 types of certificates. One is U certificate, which allows for unrestricted public exhibition of the movies. UA certificate, which allows for the unrestricted public exhibition but with a caution required for children below 12 years of age. Then we have the A-rated movies, which are restricted to adults, that is people more than 18 years of age. Then there is an S category of movies which are restricted to any special class of persons. So if we come back to our question, this is incorrect, this is correct, and this is correct. So your correct answer is B. The next question is, how many of the following statements are true? The first World Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction was held in Yokohama. The Sendai framework emphasized on Build Back Better. The Hyogo framework on disaster risk reduction has been adopted by the G7 countries in the latest summit in Japan. Now G7 had a summit where in Japan in Hiroshima, which was even attended by the Indian Prime Minister. Now we have taken this question because between 23rd to 25th May, there is the second meeting of the Working Group on Disaster Risk Reduction of G20 under the presidency of India. So this article in Indian Express, it said that how the G20 nations, they need to take a lead in disaster risk reduction. Why? Because the G20 nations, they are composed of a population of 4.7 billion people, and in the current World Risk Index, 4 out of the 10 vulnerable countries, they are from G20 nations. In the comments, can you tell us who publishes the World Risk Index? Now apart from that, when we talk about the various disaster risk reduction frameworks, we think of 3 particular frameworks which were signed under the various different world conferences on disaster risk reduction. First such conference was in 1994 in Yokohama. Second was in Hyogo in 2005, and the third one was in Sendai in 2015. The Sendai framework, which is the latest framework, it had certain goals that the world needs to achieve between 2015 and 2030. This framework, it gave us the concept of build back better, so that the infrastructure and the resilience that is built after the disaster has struck is done in such a manner that if again such a disaster strikes that place, the resilience of the people is higher, their vulnerability for loss of their lives and the property, it is lower. So if we come back to this question, this is correct. It was held in 1994. This is also correct. This, however, is incorrect. This Hyogo framework was signed during the World Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction in Hyogo in 2005. So your correct answer is B. Now we come to a PYQ from the year 2015. Which of the following brings out the Consumer Price Index number for industrial workers? The Reserve Bank of India, Department of Economic Affairs, Labour Bureau, Department of Personnel and Training. Now this particular index, it is released by the Labour Bureau, which is an attached office of the Ministry of Labour and Employment of the Government of India. Now this is done every month by the Labour Bureau on the basis of retail prices collected from 317 markets spread over 88 industrially important centers of the country. This is released at the last working day of the succeeding month. So for an example, this index for March, it will be released on the last working day of April. Also please note that the base year for Consumer Price Index for industrial workers is 2016. Now we come to the fact of the day, which is about the Khelo India Games. We took this because Prime Minister of India has declared open the third edition of Khelo India University Games on 25th May. Now Khelo India, which translates to Let's Play India, it was proposed by the Government of India in 2017 in order to revive India's sporting culture by engaging children at the grassroots levels. Under this movement, there are 3 types of Khelo India Games. One is the Khelo India Youth Games, then the Khelo India University Games and the Khelo India Winter Games, which are held annually. So the Khelo India School Games or the Khelo India Youth Games, they were first held in the year 2018 in New Delhi. So initially they were named as Khelo India School Games, but after the Indian Olympic Association, it became associated with the initiative. Consequently, these were renamed to Khelo India Youth Games from 2019. The Khelo India University Games, they were first hosted in the year 2020 at the Kalinga Institute of Industrial Technology in Odisha. About the Khelo India Winter Games, there have been 3 editions of these games. First of them held again in 2020. They have been held in Leh, Ladakh as well as in Gulmarg in Kashmir. So that is all about today's daily quiz. I hope you were able to understand all the concepts discussed today. So do not forget to tell us in the comments how many questions were you able to answer correctly. So thank you very much and have a very good day ahead.